Hello, all, and welcome to another train show review. Today we are in Oklahoma City. This show was back on November the 4th and 5th. This video footage is from the 4th. I was only there on the 4th. First thing I would like to point out about this video is that it's exceptionally long, 30 minutes, almost. I don't like to make these videos that long, but there was just a lot to look at this show. And so, maybe play it on double speed if you don't have much time. But because it's so long, I'm just going to kind of take my time and given the information and just kind of point out some of the interesting things that I saw at this show, just because I have the time. There was a few, you can't say manufacturers, but I guess maybe publisher and smaller companies like Macrail here. Even had a t-shirt vendor, which had a lot of nice looking t-shirts, and they got some cups and hats as well. Like I've mentioned before, I always enjoy whenever these shows do have really just one vendor of shirts. I don't see the need for having more than one. But this show was very, very big. I'll get some details about it here in a minute. But John's Trees and something else that was cool. They had a little clinic going on, and you could just stand there and watch them make trees. You didn't really have to be a part of it. I stood there and watched a couple different times. They had at least two different people showing how to make trees, including the John's Trees guys. This show actually had quite a bit of G-scale stuff. You can see this layout here with G. There was another layout that had G-scale. In terms of table count, 325 tables is what I counted for this show, which, since I started counting, that's the most I've found. They had a live water fountain going on there. I think there was actually like a little a wrecked locomotive at the bottom to show that it had wrecked. I actually bought something from this vendor. I'm going to try to point out all the people that I bought stuff from since I have the time on this one. But he had some $5 freight cars and some $10 freight cars there on the table, and it was good buys. I thought about buying from these people. You'll see at the bottom right corner here, just soon on the edge of the table, they've got some in-scale locomotives, but they seem kind of high. I think they're like $120. It just didn't seem. I didn't want them bad enough for that. So this vendor here, this was the Oklahoma Society Museum or something like that. This was their booth, which I bought the most stuff from this particular vendor. They had half price on everything, so that's kind of why. I would have liked to have bought some buildings had they had something pretty nice. The virtual rail fan people were there, and I guess they were giving things away. I never saw it, but here's I guess this is the other entity that hosts the shows. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is the first real layout that we're looking at. And this thing is amazing. Like, you can see the oil refinery right here. This is a really, really nice layout. And from what I could tell, I talked to one of the guys in it. This guys in this with this layout they are from southern Texas for the most part, San Antonio area perhaps. But it's a really nice layout, and we're gonna look at it all right now. But they have some very, very nice scenes. It's pretty incredible how they managed to, make something so nice. like on a mobile layout. So let's get back to it. They got a nice station there. I don't remember how big this thing was, but wow, I bet it was like maybe 30 feet long. It was big. Some really nice looking scenes, and there's a grain elevator with the big giant loop around it and everything. I mean, it was pretty cool. I looked at it for quite a while, even beyond when I made this video. And in this, here's the intermodal facility. I looked at it and thinking, I can't imagine the work that it would take to put this thing together for this show. So, very impressed. This is actually the first thing you see when you walk in the door. So, and I mean, it was the biggest layout. And so that was something about this show. In general, I didn't buy a whole lot. I didn't find many good deals. So here's another good layout. They had a tornado that you're going to see here in a minute. But in general, this show, I mean, in terms of deals, I didn't find many. But if you enjoy looking at layouts, you would not be disappointed. This one had some of the best layouts I've seen. In terms of layouts, how many layouts were there? I think there was about 15 of them, 15 layouts, and 2 Lego layouts. I think there was only 1 O-gauge layout, which is kind of surprising, but the rest were N and HO. Some good backdrops on this one right here. Oh, and something else about a lot of these layouts is they actually had, some pretty cool details in them with, something moving. Like you saw that oil pump that we just saw. There was, and I'll point it out to you later, but there was ones that had like little chickens that would move around and like a cornfield waterer thingamajig. But anyways, I'll show that to you later. So of the 325 tables, there was right around half. I didn't actually count, but 138, that's what I counted. 138 of the 325 was HO stuff. So that's not half. There was more in-scale stuff in this at this show than usual. 67 of the 325 were in-scale, so quite a bit of toys. 30 of the 325. I didn't buy anything from this vendor. He had a lot of stuff, but it just seemed kind of it wasn't of the quality that I would like. And here's Spring Creek. So they had Spring Creek, they had Harris Hobbies, they had the Fort Scott people, I don't remember what they're called, but Brad's Trains was there. So what is that, 4 big vendors? Plus many, many, many more vendors that I see all the time. I did not sell at this show, but I had to go either way. It was only a 3-hour drive. It's worth a 3-hour drive just because of how entertaining it is. Like it's pretty hard to stay there for just a couple hours. There's no way you would see everything. Like this is almost a 4, 5, 6 hour train show just in terms of being able to see everything. So I guess with that in mind, I've never really considered that as a way to rate a train show, but I guess that makes it worth the 3-hour drive. I mean, I was not upset. I had a good time. Let's see. Oh, they had some home shop stuff from people. Oh, yeah, I keep thinking of things that I would want to point out whenever we get to it. there was just a lot of interesting things that I saw at this show. One thing is, you might notice that it's one very large room, which I like. I mean, you can, if your eyes are good enough, you can see from one end to the other. Here's a really cool carnival scene. This was an in-scale layout. Lots of people in there. But the design of the show in terms of the one big building, very nice. I like that. This was at the fairgrounds in Oklahoma City. Free parking. Plenty of parking, it seemed like, so didn't have any issue with that. I don't know about anyone else, but it bothers me when when it's a double track layout and they got both trains running the same direction. That just seems strange to me, but anyways, I guess it's their layout. They can do what they want. Oh, here's the cool thing. So these little kids are making an in-scale little module that goes on that right there. I've seen that before, like at the national show, you could make one, and I think those people just kind of all get together at shows and bring their little module. You can make a curved section or you can make a straight section, is what you have the option of doing. And I don't think they're very much, like less than $10. And like, I think right there's, you get, less than $10 for whatever it is, and they give you your little piece of foam with a piece of track on it, and then you have all the scenery material to decorate it however you want. So that's pretty cool. Here's the large Lego layout. They had a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. I always enjoy looking at these because they're just... Look at all the cactus. Cacti? Yeah, cacti. I've never seen that on Legos. And this is a pretty cool looking street with overpass thing. And then we have another a big bridge. And then there's a grain elevator deal going on. And there's like a bunch of there's like a cornfield up here somewhere. So they had some cool stuff that I've never really seen before in Lego. Maybe we're getting close. What is this? Now I'm really wanting to see it. Some things I don't even understand what they're supposed to be, but I think that's the corn. Yeah, that's the corn. And those are something. Maybe that's and that was a mobile home. A trailer house in Lego. So that was cool. And let's see. And the way this show was kind of organized in general was the vendors were all up against the exterior walls and the layouts were all in the middle. So that's kind of how it's set up. You can buy you some DVDs here. This person had a bunch of in-scale stuff. I did buy some things from them. I wasn't really looking to get any in-scale, but I bought things like some Transformers and things. They had pretty good prices, so. Admission was advertised at $12 a person for this show, but in case you ever wanted to go to this show in future years, if you get on their website, the 2 times that I've went, they have a coupon on there for $2 off, so it makes it $10. So you can just take a screenshot of it with your phone, and that's good enough for them. So here's Southeast Hobbies. He's a new vendor. I actually talked to him finally at this show. He's from Georgia. So he's got some HO and some in-scale stuff. And according to that sign that we're about to see right there, I guess they do a lot of train weathering, which the table shows pretty nice. I don't think I actually showed it this time, though. Lots of O-gauge stuff. Here's this table. I think he's from the Dallas area. I know he's got a Texas Northern little flyer going on with the MKT auto rack right there. Which, by the way, if anybody likes MKT or likes auto racks, Texas Northern Model Railroad Club, something like that. I'm sure if you type that in, you'll come up with it. But they are doing a special run of Intermountain MKT auto racks. They're like $100 each, or you can buy a 6-pack for like $5.60, I think is what it is. I don't know. Get on their website. He told me how many are left. There are some left, but not. They're definitely selling them, so don't wait. I think they're supposed to be available sometime soon, maybe in the next month or two. But anyways, back to the show here. This next vendor is a vendor I've never seen before, and they sell a bunch of toys. They got a lot of toys as well. But it was interesting to see 2 toy vendors at the same show. And these people here, I didn't buy anything from them this time, but I have bought from them before. In fact, I bought from them last year at this show. They're from Arizona. Nice people. They'll probably have something that you want if you ever go to a show they're at. Here's a Fremo layout. This show was super, had some pretty cool layouts, and this one is, I like these kinds of layouts just because they're more realistic in my opinion. You got one long winding track, just finding its way around. Some good scene. You got an abandoned bridge thing going on there. Oh, also something to mention. The east entrance for this building, for the fairgrounds, is what you would want to use. Unless they have the construction done next year, but they had the north entrance closed this year, so use the east entrance. Also, on these videos, I try to avoid like showing whenever I like step around someone. I try to like edit that out. But this show had a lot of people at it at the time I was doing this. So I kind of left some of them in just because I would have missed a ton of the show had I done that. There's a kids area. So hopefully that's not too annoying to you, me always walking around people, but I don't know how many people came to the show, but they definitely had a lot of people, so I'm sure they were doing just good, or just fine with the, and good with the $10 a person. Another in-scale layout. These are the Fort Scott people. I really can't remember what their name is. Probably should, but I don't remember what their store name is, but they got a lot of stuff. Thought about buying a coil car from them for a video on coil cars, but I decided I could probably find it somewhere else. Which, by the way, hoping to get some of those comparison videos out. Haven't worked on them in a while, just been busy, but stay patient. I'll get another one out eventually. And yes, eventually one will be a coil car video. So we are still in the Fort Scott booth area right now. They got a lot of stuff, and I've had comments before about videos where I go through it too fast, so this is kind of me trying to do it a little slower. We're about 2/3 of the way through this video, so maybe we'll make it. I was a little concerned that I would run out of things to say and you'd just be listening to me breathe, but I think I'll be alright, because there's still some pretty cool things to see. Especially there's one really cool layout left to look at. And this next vendor is Brad's Trains, which I think he's in Dallas, but he's always at the shows in the Dallas area anyways. And he had quite a bit of stuff. He's an HO, an in-scale guy. He always has a lot of locomotives, which I didn't actually show this time, but He's got a lot of, seems like a lot of Athearn stuff. Look at all those containers. I probably should have bought some 40-foot containers from him, but probably wasn't thinking of it at the time. Also, while I'm thinking of it, don't forget to like this video, you know, if it didn't bore you to death because it's so long. Subscribe as well. Again, there's train show comparisons on this channel. There's not train show comparison. There's product comparisons on this channel and train show reviews. Sometimes I put things together and want to show you how that's done. Sometimes I go out and look at trains. So please like and subscribe. So here's a vendor that I bought something from. I actually contacted him before I went to the show, and he brought things that I was interested in, and bought those from him. It was American Flyer S-Gauge stuff, but still things to buy that were decently priced. This is more Flyer stuff. S-Gauge, we had 11 tables. 11 tables of 325 had S-Gauge on them. So, kind of tells you how rare it might be. Come in here. A lot of Lionel. Let's see here. Lionel, there was 41 tables. There actually wasn't as much Lionel stuff here as I would expect. Here's the other O gauge layout, or not O, G scale. And check out this end of train device on the end of this car here. That was pretty cool. Got a little amusement park back there. Some spine cars in G scale. I bet those are expensive. And back to the tables. Got a bunch of Lionel stuff. More Lionel stuff. Like, I mean, this show would kind of be good for any train person. These people had a lot of stuff. I mean, they weren't terribly priced, but I didn't buy anything from them. They did have a lot of stuff. I would say if you're an N-scale person, really, if you're an N-scale person, this would have been a good show, I would imagine. Here we're back at a layout. I think this is the layout that was, well, one of the really cool ones, if I'm remembering right. There's a big giant water jug. Okay, yeah, so the video that started this video, the clip with the baseball field, this is the layout that's from. So that was a really cool look. I just like, there's baseball fields, and there's a football field up on this other corner. So these people really, they like their sports. Right here's the football field. Probably should put some people on that. That would look even better. Going around though, then they had some really, some nice scenery with some, you know, kind of some rock formations and some valleys and some bridges. There's like a UFO thing going on with the trailer park. That seems pretty cool. There's a nice bridge that I stopped for a very short time. The one thing about this layout was they didn't really have many trains running on it. You saw that train sitting still right there. Must have been working on stuff. Oh, here we go. We're back to the... I had to get a clip of a train going around this, but they also had a really impressive little sandhopper train going through. Didn't count them, but I can imagine most of those are micro trains since they're weathered. So that was cool, especially since they're in front of the baseball field. Okay, so here's another layout. Okay, right there you can see the thing going around in a circle. There's a little underground, but the thing going around in a circle that irrigates the crops. That was pretty cool. You almost want to play this. Definitely, if you're playing this in double speed, you might want to slow it down on this because there's a lot of things to look at. They got lots of lights, lots of movement. I probably didn't even catch a lot of the things, but it was a very fun layout. I enjoyed looking at it. Let's see here, what else? Okay, there's something going on here. I think I go back to it. Yeah, what? Yeah, I don't remember what's going on there, but it was a cool scene. Here's a nice bridge. And I think I mentioned this is an HO scale. Okay, there's some chickens up here somewhere. I kind of look over them. So it shouldn't be too hard to see. I think it's right here behind that house. Yep, there they are. So that was cool. I kind of want to show that kid, like, hey, look at the chickens, but he kind of ran off before I could. Okay. I think that's the end of that layout. Yeah, I think so. All right, and here is a different layout. And I'm going to apologize right now. That's not really the best angle for this layout, but I must have just not realized this was in scale. Looks like they had a helix on the inside there. Some good scenery modules right here. Oh, here we'll take a look at this Soo Line train going through. A lot of locomotives on that thing. Impressive. There's that Amtrak train again. Those guys are doing some maintenance. Alright, I think that's the last of the layouts, so now I'm just gonna check out some more of these vendors. Okay, this vendor I actually bought some stuff from. Not a ton, but did find a couple of freight cars in there. Okay, so check out these end of train devices. This is in scale. If you like something, you can probably get his information off that. I think that said Richmond Controls. If I was an in-scale person, I would be all over that. Because those looked really good. Here's more flyer stuff. Got some in-scale and some of the usual vendors that you see. This guy, I don't know. I've never bought anything from him. Never thought anything was quite worth the price that was on there. These people right to the right now. He always has a lot of cabooses. He's kind of a caboose guy. Some nice H2 scheme Kato units there. And here's the last vendor we're going to look at, which is, I think this is Harris Hobbies. But anyways, guys, before this video ends, I'm glad you stuck through till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Contact me on my RWTX Facebook page. And, well, thanks for watching, and that'll be all for the video. See you next time.